Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malevsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. And today, in the hot seat is a very special guest from a very cool company. It's Ericom Software, and our guest is the senior director. His name is Daniel Miller, and he's going to talk to us about really cool things, including remote browser isolation. Daniel, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So in this world of malware and drive-by malware, I've seen so many users. It happens to all of us. You get an SMS message, you click a link, your browser opens, and somehow you might get infected even on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, your PC, your desktop. And then you've got so many attempts to trick us, whether it's spear phishing or deep sea phishing. Click that link, get that malware, get this user infected, and steal records from the company. And the numbers are actually in the billions. 11.5 billion records and growing, according to privacyrights.org. Is this a problem you can solve?
Of course we can. Remote browser isolation enables you to browse freely without being worried about this very critical attack vector of the browser. The idea is that you have somebody else doing the browsing for you. Browsing is actually done in a remote container, in the DMZ or in the cloud, and as a result, what we do, we actually render that session into images and stream those images back to the end user, and as a result, mimicking a perfectly browsing experience. However, there is no active code running on the endpoint.
So unlike a sandbox browser that may or may not work because the operating system may or may not be infected and all these issues, and who got in the boot sector first or who's the virtual driver first, you're giving me something that's off my machine, but I don't even know it. You're giving me proxy-based, clientless, secure, remote browser isolation.
Exactly. So we want to make sure that on the one hand, the user can go and browse and do the work normally and have their productivity in place. However, we want to actually save the users from themselves. As you clearly described, when there is a phishing attack, for example, and you're clicking on this link, the proxy is going to do one of two things. Either it's going to say, this is probably a phishing, I'm going to block it, or I don't know what it is. And as a result, it will route that traffic into our remote browsing. So as a result, we're actually protecting the users, protecting the organization, but if this was not a malicious link, it will open normally.
Where are you hosted in the cloud? Can I have it on-prem or on my cloud, or do I have to go through an Ericom Shield cloud?
So we are a software company, product company. You can have it on-prem, you can have it in any cloud of your choice, public or private. And soon to come, you can also have it as a service.
What kind of smart companies, like in different market sectors, have deployed this already?
So we have several customers already in the financial services, in government organization, a couple of hospitals. And as we see the compliance in the world, there's actually regulation toward internet separation. So there are definitely certain countries that are ahead of the curve already, being Japan, Singapore. We see with GDPR, there was a big push now in Europe toward that kind of compliance. And again, US is coming now. There's more and more conversations about that. But internet separation is becoming critical to organizations who say, we want to work, but we don't want to expose ourselves to that employees clicking on the wrong links. And as a result, we need internet separation using remote browser isolation.
This is genius. This is almost the reverse of intranet air-gap networking, right? You're actually air-gapping me and the data I want to view in a way that protects me from harm. I still see the data, but the bad guys can't get to my computer anymore.
Exactly, and your browsing experience is regular. You can click, you can do whatever you want. By the way, you can also download. We know that users regularly download.
So how do I download?
So if your policy enabled download, we actually have a built-in file sanitization technology embedded in our product, because we believe this is one big holistic browsing experience, browsing and download. So when you click, instead of seeing the download, you're going to see a message saying sanitizing. The file is going to be sent to an engine, and from there sent to the user if and when this file has been cleaned for you.
Is it the Ericom engine that cleans and tests the file, or is it an Ericom interface to, like a virus total where there's 100 different scanners to make sure I don't get infected?
Right. No, so we've actually OEM'd a certain technology in that space. CDR, Content Disarm and Reconstruction Technology.
Very cool. Content Disarm and Reconstruction.
Yes.
That sounds very different from antivirus.
Yes, it's actually, I would say, something like a next generation sandboxing.
Very cool. Now, your technology sounds so good to kind of air gap in a way, but yet allow me remote access to view. Can you move into the remote access and remote management, remote help desk space, or even sharing my screen with others but not causing risk of infection? Is there other things you can do in this space?
So it's interesting that you bring that up. Our company actually grew from the secure remote access space, and we've been enabling access to application and desktops. As a result, we're actually harnessing our lot of years of experience and into the software-defined perimeter space. We're actually doing a lot of work in that space, ensuring that you can have safe access between users, applications, and devices in a manner that does not jeopardize the organization. So we know we all talk about zero trust, making sure that their initial stage is authenticated. But once you have that zero trust, you need to make sure that you know where the user is going, which application are you allowed to access that application. Can you go to some legacy applications in a safe manner? We can do all of that with our other technologies.
Does it have a name yet?
Yeah, called Ericom Connect.
So we've got Ericom Shield to shield our browsing experience with remote browser isolation protection. Very innovative. We can still download files, but you found a way to defang the bad guys. Genius. And then you've got Ericom Connect. Is there anything else you have out there that we should know about?
Well, Ericom Connect is really our ability to address that legacy type of remote access space. And what we see is that more and more companies are actually moving to the cloud, doing a lot of very innovative things, and then coming to a realization that, okay, but I need to actually enable access to some legacy application, and we don't know how to do it anymore because we are all so protected and with layers and with authentication, and we're kind of lost. So we really can help them in that space, and we have a very large install base of customers who are using our technology. So definitely we see a lot of potential there as well.
How hard and how quick is it to deploy Ericom Shield and Ericom Connect?
So Ericom Shield is very easy to deploy. It really all depends on your topology. We are connecting along the proxy chain, so really depending on the type of secure web gateway or other type of gateway that you have, we just can connect before, after, using ICAP technology.
Can it be an hour, 5 minutes, a day, a week? How long does it take?
To install the system itself takes minutes, and then do the integration really depending on the topology of the customer, can range between hours to several days.
If I want to go through your system and go through the proxy, but not own the back end, not have your software on site, you offer a hosted version?
So we're going to be offering very soon, we're going to be offering this secure browsing as a service. We're already working with some beta customers on this offering. Very exciting because we know that some organizations, as you said...
Too small.
Yeah, too small.
SMBs, MSSPs and their customers.
Exactly, and you'll be surprised that not just small organizations, even mid-sized enterprise sometimes say, well, you know, we're consuming a lot through services. We're just very comfortable this way. If you can enable this as a service, we'll go for it. We can start with on-prem or with our cloud.
That sounds great. Maybe they have home users, small SOHO, SMB, small office, remote office, branch office, etc.
Definitely.
Ericom Software sounds like a phenomenal company to reduce the risk of data loss through the browser or through Remote Connect, right? And also, I could still get at the files I need to get at, so that's pretty innovative. Where can our viewers and readers and listeners go to learn more about you?
Well, you can go to our website, ericom.com or ericomshield.com. You can come and see us in the different shows that we're attending in the different parts of the world.
Sounds great.
We're happy to hear from you.
And there's white papers, data sheets, videos, everything we need.
Plenty of stuff for you to learn.
Ericom.com and ericomshield.com.
Yes.
Daniel, great interview. You made it through the hot seat. Let me just tell our users, this is the kind of company that's going to protect the browsing experience, and you can move a lot of the stuff you do into the browser and then deal with remote connections in a much, much safer way. And, you know, we don't need data loss anymore. We don't need these breaches. This sounds like a way to get rid of this problem in your organization. Check them out, Ericom.com, EricomShield.com, and then stay tuned next time for an exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. Thank you.